bless me, Father, for I've sinned.
Friends, welcome back to another tutorial. As always, if you guys are new here, go ahead and click that subscription button if you'd like to see regular content, music videos, tutorials. If you guys enjoy these kind of videos, please leave a like. It helps the growth of this channel a huge amount. So anyways, today what we're going to be doing is this awesome erased eyes effect, erased facial features effect. I'm going to show you how you can do this using Photoshop and After Effects. I'm going to try and dumb this process down as much as possible to make it easy for you guys. So this effect was actually inspired from the music video Hives from Earl Sweatshirt. I actually had this suggested to me from somebody who sent me an email of the clip, and his name was Chino, so shout out to him. Shout out to ycimaging for actually being the editor on that music video project and for making that effect. And if you guys would like to request anything for me to actually make a video on, make sure you guys go down in the comment section down below and leave any input or things you'd like to see me make. So anyways, let's get right into this tutorial. So we're going to start off by picking the spot where we'd like to create this effect, and I'm just going to find the spot right here, and I'm just going to bring it into After Effects from Premiere. I kind of want it to just be a quick little effect happening, because the key to making this effect actually look good is whenever you're shooting it, you want to have as little motion as possible. So you want them to almost be standing completely still, as well as you want to have as little blinking as possible. So this clip right here, we're using this little clip of riff raff. I'm going to be editing this music video coming out within a week. Shout out to Daniel Kelly, who's the one who sent that footage over to me. So we're going to bring this into After Effects, and what we're going to do is we're going to go to our very first starting position, so right here on the timeline, and we're actually going to save a frame of this to bring into Photoshop. So if you're working with a dynamic link, you can just press this button right here to take a screenshot, or what you can do in After Effects is you can come up here to composition, go save frame as, and just click file. It's going to pop up in the render queue right here. If it pops up an output window, just kind of save it as whatever name. It'll still put you into the render queue afterwards, and then you can just choose where you want to output it to, so whatever file location, and you can name it. I'm just going to name it frame. So now what you want to do is click output module right here, change it from Photoshop sequence into just a JPEG, and then click OK. And then right here where it says output to, you can name it whatever you want. I'm just going to name it frame, and then you can choose wherever you want to save it. Go ahead and click save, and then just render that out. So now let's open up Photoshop, and we're going to start a new document, which is the size of our composition from our video, which for me, it was shot in 1920 by 1080. So go ahead and click OK. And we're just going to go and find wherever we saved that one screenshot. So navigate to wherever you saved that, and then just drag it into Photoshop like this, and then click the check mark to click OK. So now what we're going to do is we're going to right click on here, and we're going to rasterize this layer so we can start making some adjustments. So we're going to go ahead and we're actually going to take out the eyes as well as do some smoothing, and then bring that back into After Effects. So to take out the facial features, whether it's the eyes, the eyebrows, the nose, the mouth, whatever you want to do, you can actually use two tools. You're going to want to be using the ones in this column, so right click, and you can either use the patch tool or the healing brush tool. I'm pretty sure the healing brush tool is a little bit more accurate. The patch tool, you can do things a little bit quicker. So for the patch tool, basically what you do is you just circle something you want to take out, and then you just drag to another spot, and it'll kind of smooth it all in like that. Just like that. And as you see, if I select and click deselect, it looks like the eye is completely removed. Or what you can do is use the healing brush tool, hold down Alt and select the spot, and just kind of draw over the eyes or the eyebrows just like that. So whatever method you want to use, it's actually pretty simple. You're just using two of those brushes within Photoshop, and then just removing any parts you'd like to. So I'm going to remove the eyebrow right here. Okay, so I went through and actually removed the eyes as well as the eyebrow, as you can see like that. And that's looking pretty accurate. It looks pretty good like that. Now what we're going to do is I'm just going to show you a quick little trick to be able to actually smooth out the skin and just make it so that it doesn't look as artificial. So what we're going to do is we're just going to click on this layer here, click Control J to make a duplication. And then next we're going to click Control I to invert that. And we're going to change the blending mode of that to vivid light. So now come over here to filter. We're going to go to blur, and then we're going to go to Gaussian blur. And we're just going to change this so that we can actually see some of the skin details. So something around like 3.64. As you can see, you'll start to see the skin detail. We're going to click OK. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to click filter. We're going to go to other, and we're going to click high pass. And then we're just going to change this value until we get the right skin pattern that we're looking for. And I'm probably going to put it around like 3.8. That's looking pretty good. And the goal of that is just to actually just smoothen the skin, but still keep that detail in the skin so it doesn't look artificial. Just kind of make it more accurate. So that looks cool. That looks pretty realistic. Now here's how we actually implement this into video. So what we're going to do is we're going to click File. We're going to click Save As. We're going to save this where we would like. We're going to name this just No Eyes Frame. And save as type, we can just save it as either a PNG or a JPEG. Go ahead and save that. Now let's come back into After Effects. We're going to go to our composition, and we're still at our very first starting position right here. We're going to go and navigate to wherever we just saved that file from Photoshop. So no eyes frame, I'm going to drag that into my project bin right there. So now let's go ahead and take the no eyes frame and just place it in our composition, in our timeline, right above our original footage. So we have it right there. So if you just click this eyeball right here, which shows and hides the layers, you're going to see this is perfectly aligned. So make sure it's perfectly aligned. If it's not perfectly aligned, or if it's too small, depending on your composition, what you can do is just right click, go to transform, and just make sure that it fits the comp just like that. So now all we have to do is a few simple steps to actually get the parts that we want from this frame and track it onto this actual video. So it's actually not that hard. It seems a little complicated, but just follow along with what I'm doing in the video. So first off, what we're going to do all the tracking information so that we don't have to worry about any of that, because that's probably the most annoying part. So let's get all that out of the way, and let's just try and do that as simple and fast as possible. So what we're going to do, we're just going to right click here. We're going to go to new, and we're going to go to null object, and we're just going to right click this, and we're going to rename this left eye tracking info, just like that. We're going to right click, we're going to bring in another null object right here, and I'm going to rename that, and I'm going to name that right eye tracking info. All right, so now we have our two null objects set up. I'm going to take the left eye tracking info, and I'm just going to actually click this tool and put our anchor position in the middle of our left eye pupil like that. And we can just drag it over like this, just so these are a little bit more organized. And we're going to do the same with the right eye tracking info. Let's select it, and then we're also going to click this anchor tool, make sure the anchor of the null is in our pupil. Now we're ready to go ahead and apply the tracking information onto the null objects. So let's click on original footage right here. I'll even rename this. I'll rename that original footage just so you guys don't get confused. So let's go ahead and click on original footage. We're going to go up to animation, click track motion. It's going to bring up this tracker window right here. So now we have a tracker window all up and ready. Make sure you guys keep track of which eye is left and right, since it's going to be inverted. So this is actually our right eye, since if you invert it, it would be his right eye. So we're going to raise this up. So we're going to make this the size of the eye. We're going to make this middle box the size of his pupil, and we're going to make this one up until the eyebrow right here. And then what we can do is actually click edit target, and we're going to place this tracking information on our right eye tracking info null object. Go ahead and click OK, and just click play. It's going to go ahead and track the motion of the eye just like that, looking all good. I'm going to stop it right there. Now what we're going to do is click apply, and we're just going to click X and Y. So what that just did, so since we clicked apply and we applied that to the right eye null, which is going to contain all of our tracking info, you're going to see whenever I click on right eye null, you're going to see that it follows the path of the pupil right there, and it's all tracked and ready to go. We're going to do the same for the right eye, which is right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on original footage again. We're going to go to track motion again, and we're going to drag our track points onto our eye again, just like that. Go ahead and just resize these boxes so that is the full length of the eyes, kind of like that. We're going to edit our target, and we're going to make sure this is applied to left eye tracking info. We're going to click OK, and then we're going to go ahead and just click play again. So it's going to analyze that tracking for our left eye. Perfect. So we're going to pause it right there. We're going to click apply again, and we're going to apply it to X and Y. So now if we go up and we clicked on left eye tracking, you're going to see that this one is tracked as well. Both of these null objects are tracked and ready to go. All the tracking info is ready to go, and we're good to start making any adjustments. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to take no eyes frame, drag this to the top, make sure we're at our starting position right here. Let's go ahead and show that layer now to bring in our wiped away features. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to mask things out and just connect it to the tracking info we already made, and then we're all good to go. So first steps first, click on this no eyes frame, Control C, Control V, so there's two of them, and let's just hide the bottom one for now. So on the top one, I'm going to rename this, and I'm going to name it right eye. And then for the bottom one, I'm going to rename this left eye. So let's click on right eye. And what I'm going to do is click this pen tool right here. So I'm going to draw a mask around where the right eye would be, like that. And then if you click M, you can bring up in your mask options. You can expand it. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make the mask feather this around 10 pixels. So go ahead and click enter for feather, just to kind of blend it in a little bit more. Now what I'm actually going to do is for right eye, I'm going to click parent, and I'm going to parent this to my right eye tracking info, which we made earlier. So if I drag along, you're going to see that this is tracked to all that tracking info that we did, and it looks really, really cool, and I like it. I like how that turned out a lot. Now all we need to do is actually do the same thing with the left eye. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's click and show our left eye. Click on here. We're going to go to our pen tool. We're just going to draw a mask around the left eye. just like that. And then you can also just hide this, make sure that everything is within your mask so that nothing is actually not being covered by it. Bring it back. We're going to expand the layer, expand the mask, and then we're going to make feathering 10 pixels like that. We're going to click parent and we're going to click left eye tracking info. And that's all you need to do. Pretty simple. And that looks pretty realistic, if I might say. The tracking is pretty spot on. The more still that your subject is, the more perfect the tracking is going to look. I also want to point you guys to this website real quick. If you guys would like to do this in a kind of more detailed way of tracking instead of just using the normal motion tracking of the eye, what you can do, you can actually purchase this After Effects script, face tracker to null script. It's only $10, I'm pretty sure. And what it can do is you can actually use the face tracking. You can actually use the face tracking method where you just draw a mask and then face track, and you can actually turn the actual eyes into null objects and then just parent them like I showed you in this video. So if you'd like to have it a little more detailed across the entire eye or the eyebrow or the mouth, the nose, if you want that more kind of detailed facial feature tracking, then you can use this script. This isn't a sponsored post. I just kind of stumbled across it. Like I said, face tracker to nulls. If you guys want a full tutorial about face tracking or even just using this plugin, let me know in the comments down below. I'm actually really happy with how this one turned out. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you're new here, like I said, join the community. Regular tutorials, music videos, vlogs, travel stuff, bunch of new stuff coming to the channel. Leave a like on the video if you enjoy the content. If you would like this channel to expand, it definitely helps me be able to make more of these kind of videos, as well as upgrade the quality and content of these videos. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.